Hey folks, it's another rainy day here in Arkansas, and today we're talking about the top 4 baits to help you catch bass here in the Ozarks. Now, these are going to work in all kinds of bodies of water. I'm talking creeks, I'm talking rivers, lakes, even your uncle's farm pond. And the reason I like these and fish these so much is because they have such a wide range of applications. You can put them on a shaky head, you can Texas rig them, you can do almost anything with them except for the last one that I'm going to talk about. So number 1 is the Senko. Now if you know what a bass is, you're probably going to know what a Senko is. So I like to fish these in the springtime, and then my Senko fishing tends to taper off the deeper we get into summer. So for color recommendations, I would like to stick to some shade of dark green. Don't worry too much about the flaking. That doesn't really matter as much in my experience, but the one thing I will say is for size, you're gonna want both a 4-inch and then you're also gonna want a 5-inch. And the reason for this is because they both have different sinking rates. So the 5-inch is gonna be for bigger, deeper bodies of water, and then the 4-inch is gonna be more for smaller creeks and rivers. So number 2 is another soft plastic, and is going to be some type of Finnesse worm. So here I have some made by Zoom, and they're actually called Shakey head worms. This is my default lure. So if I've never been to a spot before, this is probably what I'm going to throw, and I'm going to throw it on a Shakey head jig. It doesn't have to be a Zoom brand, but any thin, tapered body 6-inch worm will work. So the recommendation I have with these is you're going to want 2 different colors. So you're going to want a darker color, well, that's a lighter color, but you're going to want a natural color, and you're going to want a darker color. And so the 2 applications here based on color is if you're going to be fishing more clear, smaller, shallow bodies of water, then you're probably going to want to go with a natural color. And then if you're fishing stained or kind of cloudy water that's going to have a lot of structure, so like grass, then that's where these darker colors like this purple here is really going to shine. So natural being kind of greens and browns and tans, and then your darker colors being purples or blacks or even like a dark red. Number 3 is going to be my favorite summertime for fishing creeks lure, and this is some form of 3-inch crawfish. So most of the limestone creeks that we have here, they're absolutely loaded with crawfish, and the smallmouth love them. Now for color, kind of like this one, is going to be some shade of green. So most of the crawfish that we have around here are going to be some shade of olive, but any kind of color like orange or brown or tan might work as well. Any of the natural crawfish colors. You can even try black depending on how it's going, but for baseline I would start with a green of some sort. And then number 4, is it really a bass fishing video if we don't talk about topwater fishing? So the last lure is going to be a Heddon tiny torpedo. And it doesn't have to be a tiny torpedo, but any kind of small topwater lure is going to be perfect. So with topwater fishing, sometimes that's just what the fish want, and you might as well keep one in the tackle box. The only recommendation I have, like I said, it doesn't have to be a Heddon, it can be a whopper plopper, it can be all sorts of other lures, but the only recommendation I have is I would start with some shade of black or some shade of white and go from there. If you're fishing in an area that has a lot of frogs, you can try olive as well, but black and white are really, really safe bets. And it's going to be dependent on the cloud cover and the weather to determine if they prefer one or the other. So for a long time as a kid, my biggest bass was on this exact lure right here, black tiny torpedo. And so not only is it a lot of fun to topwater fish, but definitely works in the right scenario. So that's all I have for today. Thank you, and we'll see you soon.